I find it super interesting that I tried to upload this, like, I have like two of them are done or about done, and the other one still uploading, and it keeps flipping back between being like, oh, this is gonna take 83 hours to upload and 25 minutes. I don't know, it's tweaking. And now I'm making another one, so I'm just really overwhelming my iPad and my camera. Today's been a day. And right now, I am reflecting on the act of God thinking about how often He holds our hands through things and how often He kind of lets us go to do our own thing. And when I say our own thing, I literally just mean using free will to act in a way that we choose. So for example, I don't know. I have no examples. I'm just thinking about it. So like, we're kind of expected to help out in the church or in our community, okay? And it's really important that we have a heart that wants to do that. And so God is not gonna like hold our hand and kind of like drag us and be like, okay, it's time to help with the kids ministry now. Come on. Like, He's not really doing that. In a way, we kind of like are pursuing it on our own, with God in mind, of course. But again, like, we have to recognize free will, like, and the importance of, okay, when we do it on our own, we recognize that we need to do it on our own. So that's what makes it kind of special. It's like God doesn't have to tell us what to do because we want to do it anyways. And like, I just imagine, I'm like, oh wow, there's a lot of things that God kind of like leaves up to us in that way. And He's not, part of our growth is like Him avoiding that, because He's not going to, because being dragged doesn't feel good. And you know what else doesn't feel good? It doesn't feel good when somebody does hold your hand or drag you through, and then they get mad at you for not standing on your own. That's a bad feeling. Because how are you going to dedicate your time and your energy to support me, which strips me of my independence, and then be upset that I don't know how to do it on my own? Because you never stepped back to let me try to do it on my own. And also, there's a different expectation. Like, if you're holding one hand of somebody, they only have one other hand to work with. And so by the time you let go, it's like, you don't know what to do with that hand. It's been held the whole time. What would I do with that hand? And I don't know if I'm just like, I'm really vaguely kind of covering something that I'm processing right now. Like, because it wouldn't be necessarily like wise to just rant without a filter. And so that's like something I'm like connecting. I'm trying to connect it to like, what does God think? And I'm just like, well, God doesn't do that. Like, God doesn't do half the work for us and then say, why can't you do this on your own? It's just, it's kind of like, I feel like it's an all or nothing. And okay, this is all verbal processing. I feel like it's an all or nothing situation. It's like either God is like, wow, like He's really moving and like, that wasn't me. Or it's like, wow, Like, I did that, like, with the obvious, okay, keep in mind that, like, we can't do anything on our own as Christians. Like, I'm just talking, like, you made a choice. You used your free will to fulfill the will of God. You chose to do that. God didn't make you choose. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like, I feel like it's like this all or nothing where, well, I feel like there has to be in between. But in my mind, like, right now, it's like, there's an importance in, like, choosing. And God, like, though in the case where we choose, God, He helps us, He's not doing all of the work. Because something about, when we were in DTS, they were like, God doesn't need us to go out and evangelize. But it's like this beauty in being part of the process. Kind of, Honor had this example where she was like, you know, it's like if you have a 3-year-old in the kitchen and, like, you're making cookies and the 3-year-old wants to help, it's gonna go slower because they're 3 and they don't really know what they're doing. But it's like the memories of, like, sharing that together. And of course, like, when the 3-year-old's done, like, I did it. Like, he chose to help. But, like, with the help of the parent, of course. But I'm talking like, ooh, that car scared me. I'm talking like, oh gosh, I don't even know where I was going with this. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Okay, let's use this, like, cooking analogy, the baking, the 3-year-old thing, right? Let's say this, like, 3-year-old is baking, but as that 3-year-old gets older, the parent never steps away. The parent is constantly helping as if they're still 3. Like, and one day, the parent says, hey, I need you to make these cookies. And the kid's like, oh crap, like, you want me to do it by myself? Like, you've never backed away like, I don't know how to do that one part. I don't know how to do several parts, actually, because you always did it for me. You told me not to worry about it, you know? And I feel like the difference between, like, the parent and, like, God is, like, God does want us to grow. And so there will be times when maybe, like, he's like 6 or 7. It's like, you think you could do this by yourself? Go ahead, like, go, do it. And that's righteous for God later to be like, hey, like, I showed you how to do this. Like if God had something to say about it, He could. Because He at one point was like, gave you the reins and said, you had my guidance, I taught you how to do it. And then it's like, after that, I feel like God can, like, righteously criticize. This is all external processing. This could just be a bunch of gobbledygook. I don't know. I'm just like, this is all coming out of my mouth for the first time. Be slow to speak. Unless it's to a GoPro. I'm just kidding. So, yeah. I'm just in a process where it's like, I kind of feel like the 3-year-old who, and this has nothing to do with God being the parent here. I feel like the 3-year-old that, you know, now I'm an adult, being told, like, okay, make the cookies, and now I'm in trouble. Like, my parent is upset with me because I don't know how to do it on my own, and I'm like, but wait, like, I've never done it on my own. Like, you've never let me do it on my own. Every time I've insisted, you stay. And so I'm like, you know, kind of wrestling with God, where it's like, is it wrong to have it's not wrong to have feelings, but it's like, what do I do now with these feelings? Because I don't know what position I don't know. I just don't know what to do now, because I'm like, I tried to voice my opinion and it didn't go well. And I didn't do it from a bad place. have noticed. And then it like really backfired. So, I don't know. I'm like reflecting. I'm like, I think God several times. I think I can confidently. If I'm saying I think, then I'm probably not confident. Probably. I'm like probably sure that God kind of like, I mean, we have free will, right? God can't make us. God chooses not to make us do anything. He gives us free will. Therefore, like, in doing that, he goes like this when we make certain choices. Of course, he has intervened in my life, caused me to not make a choice, or fixed a choice that I made. I don't know, what have you. But he goes like this. And that's how we learn. We learn because we're doing it. He's telling us like, hey, I told you this. Remember this. It's like coaching, but he's not doing it for us. And then it kind of gives him this like, I don't know, it just makes sense in my head. I feel like after that, like after he's like this and I'm messing up, it's like he has the authority to be like, well, I told you so. Essentially, he has the authority to say, I told you so. I guess that's a roundabout way of like what I'm trying to get at. It's like God has the authority to say, I told you so, but does somebody else have the authority to say, I told you so, when like there was really no room for growth or no room for learning? Like, can you really hold somebody accountable to be a certain way that you never taught them to be? I have the Bible and I have experience. I have a prayer life. These are all things that, sorry guys, this guy, I had the right of way and this lady just stole it from me. Does he have the authority? Well, yeah, it's God. But then, like, what about the person who is, like, holding you to a standard that, like, I mean, people are not perfect. I don't know. I'm gonna go do some work now. And that calls for me to go bye-bye. That's a long rant. Let's see, this one will probably be uploaded before the other one too, unless the other one decides to upload while I'm at a coffee shop. Remember that time I was like, get you a girl that can back in to a parking space? I still stand by that. I'm still standing better than I ever did, looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. What the heck are you doing? May the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you. And GoPro, stop recording.